Is the Internet Making Us Dumber? By Rahul Sampath. From newspapers hot off the press to the CNN app, from malls to online supermarkets, technology is progressing at 1,000 miles per hour. The question is, should we move with it? In the United States and around the globe, students are exposed to technology as early as preschool. Is that positive or negative? Many say that's amazing. Others say it makes the children of our generation less social and less intelligent. But what is intelligence? What is social? How do we define them? Well, dictionary.com says, intelligence is the capacity to learn, reason, and understand. My bro, Sir Ken Robinson, says that reasoning is actually the ability to think creatively. No, not critically. Creatively. Although, by his definition, you can probably use the two interchangeably. By his definition, a creative thinker comes up with many answers to a single inquiry. Alright, now what is social? In relation to or characterized by friendly company. Or companionship. Basically, your ability to socialize. Like, play with your friend instead of alone with your phone. So, does this early exposure to technology and the internet affect our ability to think intelligently and socially? In other words, are we dumb and can we talk to each other? If we are unable to do these things, is that the fault of overusing technology? Well, you guys remember that Dick Nicholas Carr? Well, he'd probably say yes. According to him, our generation is a bunch of scattered and superficial thinkers. He likes to say the internet is just a constant, consistent, and interruptive being, which has resulted in our generation being incapable of distinct thought. My other friend here, Patricia Greenfield, might agree with him. She ran a bunch of tests on these college students. First one, she gave an entire class a lecture. One half of the students was given a computer. The other half was left with nothing. They were then forced to listen to this lecture, which they would later be tested on. The computer-using students obviously bombed it, scoring a 10% or less. Patricia also realized that our generation is full of kids who have completely given up on reading. I can't really disagree with her. I used to read a ton. Now, I don't. I only read when the school tells me to. This is sad because reading does really stimulate your imagination more than any video game. And we have stopped. Now, when it comes to video games, this is a hot topic. Do they contribute to ruining our social lives? Well, I have a pretty sad story. My senior year of high school, I visited Council Rock Primary School, a school for first and second graders. I visited to tutor a bunch of kids in mathematics. To my surprise, when I got there, all of the students had iPads to do their work on. I didn't realize Minecraft was basic algebra. As a tutor, I wanted to test them. I asked them a simple question: 15 plus 15. In unison, about 5 students sitting at my table answered together, 7! I proceeded to cry. Then, here's the saddest part. When the teacher asked about recess, I got super excited to play tag and kickball with the kids. Then, to my surprise, all of the kids said no, we want to play Minecraft. I took the pencil I was holding and stabbed myself in the leg, as I realized that I was the loser of the group. All of these kids were so absorbed in their iPads, they wouldn't even talk to me. I was the cool high schooler. I began to cry. Pretty sad story. Well, on the topic of video games and its effect, I have a friend named Kaviri Subsu, I don't remember his last name, who did a study and found that 1 in 5 kids ages 8 to 18 years old have a computer in their room, which means they use it in solidarity, without friends, not on a playground. That frightened me. As a kid, all I did was play on playgrounds. And a lot of parents have the same feeling. This topic comes up a lot after shootings, for example, Columbine. The kid who committed the shooting loved a game called Doom, in which you tried to rack up as many kills as you can. He even made his own version where he shot the school up before he even did it for real. So, we can say there has been some negative effects of technology. But the internet is a text-based medium. Yeah, that's reading. Suck it, Nicholas Carr. Oh yeah. And Ken. On that topic of creative thinking, what if we gave that kid that you said could come up with lots of answers to a single question, who has very good creative thinking ability, what if we matched him up against a kid with the internet? Well, the kid with the internet would probably come up with about 4 billion more answers. Every single time, the internet will beat the student. Well, what else is positive? Technology lets us talk from Africa to Indonesia to Iceland. Students can communicate all over the world. In my opinion, that's the best form of diffusion. Cultural diffusion, technological diffusion. It's a great way for kids to make friends. When a kindergartner from Detroit can FaceTime a kid from Uganda, that's pretty cool. You gotta admit, that beats pen pals. That can still be a friendship. Going back to, our friend Nicholas Carr, if we took his test again with the lecture and gave the half of the students using their computers again, and then the other half a book, well, who would do better? The kids who had to read a book while trying to listen to a lecture, or a kid who was maybe on Facebook? My guess, the kid who was trying to read a book while listening to the lecture would do pretty badly. So, I gotta say, that test didn't go over so well. Also, there's the fact that you can basically learn anything on Google. For example, did you know that koala bears burp and snore to say hello to each other? Let me answer that for you. You didn't. And unless you live in North Korea, well, you can Google check me. So now we've explored both the positives and negatives of technology and internet around the world. Yeah, it's easy to learn with the www. But it can also promote solidarity and primitive thought. As Patricia Green would say, no medium is perfect. So you can decide for yourself how we should be using the internet. In my opinion, anyone under the age of 12 probably shouldn't have an iPad. But there are merits to it in higher education. So, Nook or Book, either way, you're probably going to learn something. Thank you. Viewing ages 14 and up.